Alright, starting off first here with the 1942 wheat cent. Now, 1942 pennies are very common coins. This is the S mint mark. However, what makes this coin valuable is that it has a mint error. The coin has been struck onto a foreign planchet. It only weighs 2.5 grams. As you guys know, 1982 and prior was the years that the coins weighed 3.1 grams. 1982, they transitioned to zinc and started weighing 2.5 grams. So this should weigh 3.1. So that is the mint error. The coin design has been struck onto a foreign planchet. The coin is graded by NGC at a mint state 62 brown, and this penny ended up selling for over $6,000. 6 grand for 1 cent. Here's a 1945, not as valuable as the last coin, 1945 D mint mark wheat penny. This coin has an obverse lamination. It is also graded by NGC at a mint state 64 red brown. You'll see that lamination there as we zoom in there on Lincoln's chest. This penny ended up selling for a little over $70. So you're not really gonna make, money on something like this after you pay to have it graded and things like that. So if you're keeping it for your personal collection, that's great, but you're not going to make a fortune on something like this. Now here is a 1960 large date that has been struck onto a defective planchet. So here's the difference between a large date and a small date for the 1960 Lincoln cent. You can pause the screen and look at the difference in the O's and the alignment of the numbers and whatnot. We've done a whole video on the 1960 penny, so feel free to check that out. We go more into depth in that video. So this coin here is graded by NGC at a mint state 63 red brown. It's got that defective hold planchet there you see on the left side of the coin. This penny ended up selling for over $140 at auction. Here's a 1970 D mint mark Lincoln cent that has an incomplete curved clip. So this coin was going to be clipped, but it's an incomplete clip, right? You can see the line of the curved clip there going through the center of the penny. This coin ended up selling for over $190, graded at a mint state 64 red brown. So your pennies will either grade at a brown, or red. Red, of course, is the best. Here is a 1974 D mint mark, graded by NGC. This Lincoln cent here has an obverse die break. Graded at a mint state 65 red brown. You'll see that large cud going over the word Liberty there on the left side of the coin. So, always look out for these on, all kinds of different coins, quarters, nickels, pennies, dimes, all kinds of different coins, not just Lincoln cents. And they can be much smaller than this, they can be much larger than this on the rim of the coin there. And you'll see there on the reverse, it's faded out on the opposite side of that cud, that die break. And this penny ended up selling for around $80 US. Here's the 1978 S mint mark. Now this is the proof penny, so you'll find these in your 1978 proof sets. You can look for mint errors on those coins as well. It is graded at a proof 68 red ultra cameo, so the coin grading scale goes up to 70. This is at a 68. It does have clashed dies, so a die clash. So if we zoom in here, you can actually see the design of the Lincoln cent more than once as a result of that die clash. So pretty cool mint error there. This coin ended up selling for $120. Here's a 1982 large date that was struck onto a defective hold planchet, kind of similar to that other penny that we looked at. So as we zoom in there, you can see that defective planchet. Now also on the 1982, we've done a whole video on that as well. So here's the difference between the large date and the small date. The small date, the 2 will have a curve in it. The large date just curves around the top and goes directly down and to the right. So that's the way to tell between the 1982 large date and small date. Now the famous 1982 penny that you really want to look for is the 1982 small date D mint mark that weighs 3.1 grams. I always get questions on that coin, people get it confused, so just a reminder there, 1982 small date, the one with the curve in the 2 with the D mint mark, and it weighs 3.1 grams. So look for that coin. Here is a 1982 Lincoln cent that has a die adjustment strike. That's why the coin design's all faded out there. And this coin ended up selling for $170 at auction. Not too bad. Now here is a 1982 Lincoln cent where the obverse has been struck through a capped die. So here on the reverse it looks very normal. Here on the obverse you can see that mint error. You can actually even see the 8-2 of the date. Really you can see the whole date there. But this coin did end up selling for over $130 at auction. Now here's the 1987 Lincoln cent that was struck 35% off center, graded at a Mint State 65 red. This coin ended up selling for a little over $70. Not too bad. Here's another die break. We looked at a different example earlier that was going over the word Liberty. In this case, the die break is covering up the date 1989 there partially. So always be on the lookout for these. This coin is graded at a Mint State 67 red, so it's a much better condition than the other coin that we looked at. You'll see on the reverse it's faded out, and this coin ended up selling for around 90 bucks. Here's a 1994 Lincoln cent design that was struck onto a 10-cent blank planchet, graded by NGC at a Mint State 66. This coin ended up selling for $750 at auction. As you can see, the design, In God We Trust kind of getting cut off there because the Lincoln cent was struck onto a Roosevelt dime blank planchet. Very rare mint error there, 750 bucks. Now here's a 1998 Lincoln cent that has a couple different things going on here. One, the coin has been double struck with that strike being off center, and it also has a die cap. So graded by Annex at a Mint State 63 red, this penny ended up selling for over $335. Now this mint error here is pretty cool. I really like this one. This is a 1999 Lincoln cent where the obverse has been struck through a late stage die cap, or a late stage cap die, however you prefer to say it. The die is the thing that comes down with the design and strikes the planchet, strikes the design onto the planchet, if that can give you kind of a visual. The reverse looks kind of normal, like any old penny would and pocket change in a way. But obviously you can see that mint error, that die cap there on the obverse of the coin. So this coin ended up selling for 180 bucks. Here's a 2000 Lincoln cent that was double struck with that second strike being 40% off center, graded at a Mint State 66 red. This coin sold for over $550. Here's another 2000 Lincoln cent that has a reverse cap die. Pretty obvious mint error here. This penny ended up selling for over $190 at auction, graded at a Mint State 63 red brown. Here is a 2000 Lincoln cent that was struck 50% off center with a chained edge. Looks like they spelled chain wrong on the coin slab. Oops, mint error on the coin slab. But yeah, this penny ended up selling at auction for $144. Again, after you pay to have it graded, you're not making thousands of dollars on this coin. Here's a 2000 Lincoln cent that was actually struck onto a 25-cent planchet, so a quarter planchet. Really awesome. Man, that is just amazing. This coin ended up selling for over $14,000 at auction, graded by PCGS at a Mint State 65. Here is a 2001 Lincoln cent that has a couple different things going on here. One, the coin has been broad struck, which you'll see around the rim of the coin, and the coin has been double struck. So you'll see that design double struck as well. This penny ended up selling for a little over $200, graded at a Mint State 64 red brown. Now here's a no-dated Lincoln cent where the obverse has been struck through a piece of cloth. You can see the textured design there of the cloth there on the front of the penny, the obverse. This coin ended up selling for over $360 at auction. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Feel free to check out the videos to the left of me. And until tomorrow, I'll see you guys in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.